tous. Merci d'être venus ce soir nous rejoindre pour écouter Greil Marcus nous parler de son travail et notamment de ce livre L'Amérique et ses prophètes qui nous avons publié aux éditions Galaade il y a un peu plus d'un an. Bonsoir Greil Marcus. Thank you very much for coming again in France.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
Even if I know that you really love to come in France and you come almost every year.
We try.
L'Amérique est un lieu autant qu'une histoire où se mêlent enthousiasme et soupçon, crime et délivrance, lynchage collectif et fuite. Ses plus grands testaments sont faits de présages et d'avertissements, d'allusions bibliques qui perdent toute leur certitude au contact de l'air américain. A dog, comme l'écrit David Lynch dans une chanson intitulée Pink Western Ranch, barking like Robert Johnson, un chien qui aboie comme Robert Johnson. L'histoire de l'Amérique, telle qu'on la raconte depuis le début, repose sur l'invention de soi et sur le sentiment national. Avant, comme après la fondation solennelle de la nation, le modèle, dans ses termes les plus simples et les plus bruts, en est la voix de Dieu dans le livre d'Amos, interpellant les enfants d'Israël. Je n'ai connu que vous de toutes les familles de la terre, c'est pourquoi je vous châtierai pour toutes vos fautes. De John Winthrop en 1630, avec son modèle de charité chrétienne, qui décrit la mission des puritains de la colonie de Massachusetts Bay, à Abraham Lincoln, prononçant en 1865 son deuxième discours inaugural, en passant par Martin Luther King, s'exprimant sur les marches du Lincoln Memorial, 99 ans plus tard, l'Amérique s'est toujours raconté cette histoire. Qu'elle se soit reconnue ou non, dans ces voix prophétiques qui se sont élevées pour que l'on reste fidèle au passé ou à l'avenir commandé par le passé, cela est une autre question.
The children of Israel made a covenant with God to keep His commandments, obey His rules, and follow the path of righteousness. The covenant and nothing else made them a nation. The promises they made were not made to be broken, because one people and no other had made a covenant with God. The stakes were much higher. The promises were made to be betrayed, which meant that when one betrayed the promise, one betrayed God. In the Israel of Isaiah and Jeremiah, as the land fell into misery and sin, prophets stepped forward to speak in God's name, to warn the people that as in their covenant they had been promised God's greatest blessings. Should they betray their covenant, they would suffer His greatest torments. As they had offered themselves to His judgment, so they would be judged. America began as a reenactment of this drama, Amos's words echoing over Fitzgerald's phylogenetic American memory of a fresh green breast of the New World. The Puritans carried the sense of themselves as God's people to America as they found it. That sense, armed, is what is called American exceptionalism. It recreates the nation as a voice of power and self-righteousness, speaking to itself in a message broadcast to the whole world. This is an original and fundamental part of American identity. There's no American identity without it, which is also to say there's no American identity without a sense of portent and doom. This is the other side of the story, the urge in the nation, in the shape of a certain kind of American hero, to pass judgment on itself. Israel had the comfort of knowing that should it betray its covenant, God would be the judge. In America, a covenant a few people once made with themselves, a covenant the past made with the future, and that every present maintains with both the future and the past. Passing that judgment on America is everyone's burden and liberation. It's what it means to be a citizen. All of citizenship, all taxes and freedoms, flows from that obligation. To be obliged to judge one's country is also to have the right to do it.
on which subject would you write a book now? Maybe you answered over here. I don't know.
The question is, what would I write a book on now?
Yeah.
And you said it perfectly. I want to write a book about blackface in American culture, 200 years ago and today. I want to write about a book about the persistence of that theme and how it appears in forms and places that wouldn't even be recognized as blackface. We think of blackface as somebody putting black paint on their face and maybe drawing wide lips and being a caricature of the Negro, a stupid, mocking caricature. And it is maybe the most taboo form of, let's say, self-presentation that anybody could enact in America today. And yet there are so many different ways in which people are doing it. And it's right now, that's a hunch that I'm trying to follow, and I haven't done it yet. But that's what I want to write a book on. I always do. Really, anything I write starts with a song. That is always the jumping off point. And the place I hope to return to in the circle of an essay or a book. That's what, for me, it's almost always a song that raises the question, that opens the question, that says, well, what about it? And so music is a constant inspiration. It is a spur, For some people, it's a cold shower in the morning. For me, it's a record.
What music inspires you today?
Oh God, what music inspires me today?
Question, I guess.
Yeah, I probably listen to old blues records more than anything else, or maybe old country records from the 20s and 30s. And but I think, if you could say anything that inspires me, there's a group called the Handsome Family, which is a husband and wife, and Rennie and Brett Sparks. I never have asked them why they call themselves the Handsome Family. I always forget. They're really lovely people, and they make the most gothic music I've ever heard. And they take the tradition of the old Southern murder ballad and put it into modern everyday life in a way that's absolutely uncanny. One of their songs starts with the line, Rennie, the wife of the couple, writes all the words. Her husband, Brett, does almost all the singing, plays all the music, does all the composing. One song starts, "There's a fish in my stomach 1,000 years old." And the way that line is sung, you instantly understand exactly what that means. And it seems real. It doesn't seem like a metaphor. And you think, oh God, that's terrible. Not, what a weird thing to say. Just are instantly sucked into the refusal of reality, the replacing of reality in that song. So I'll say that. Thank you all for coming. I hope it was as much fun for you as it was for me. Thank you.